Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of DudeWutPodcast. My name's Harry Dowling, and this time I am joined with my good friend Mr. Callum Hamby and my good friend Mr. Adam Grizzly Bear Homer. How the hell you doing, dudes?
Good.
I'm doing good. I didn't want to talk over Adam.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of walked you straight into that one.
You go first, Hamby.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah.
Good to hear,
really
man.
Good.
Grizzo, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Been busy last couple of weeks
Yeah.
since the last was on, but yeah, doing good so far.
Oh, nice to hear. So it's always really fun when I can get both you guys guest hosting with me. When was the last time you came on together? Was it the quiz episode?
Yeah.
I think so.
Was it actually?
It was a really funny episode, but
so next time you guys come on, I'm planning on doing the follow-up to the guitar solo episode that me and you did, Grizz. But I'm planning to get Hamby on that one as well. So maybe we'll do a little like Grizz versus Hamby like round 2 in that. We can get the fart buzzers back out. Yeah, because that was pretty fun. So Hamby, you first, man. What have you been up to this past week, dude?
well, I wasn't on last week because we were actually on hold. We went away for a long weekend in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Weekend before last, so that was really good fun. It was like so unbelievably sunny.
Oh,
for
nice.
March.
Timed
really,
it right
really
then
nice.
with the weather, yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect. We did all like the sightseeing and just generally just chilling out. To be honest, like we were in we were in a similar part of Amsterdam to where we were when we all stayed there. Like over near like Vondel Park.
Yeah, by Vondel.
It was a really nice like Belgian cafe like just down the road from us that I managed to find, and they did like all these like awesome like Belgian beers. So we went there like pretty much every single night. And they had,
how long did you go for?
3 nights, 4 days.
Cool.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good. Tilly hadn't been before. I've obviously been quite a few times. But Tilly hadn't been before, so we did all like the Van Gogh Museum and Frank House,
like proper
that,
touristy stuff.
Yeah. Amsterdam's expensive though. I like everything. Just everything is like €20. Doesn't matter what it is. Food, tickets to get in somewhere, €20. It's like,
man.
it adds up.
No, it's a cool place to go for the first time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good fun. I enjoyed it, and I do like Amsterdam. I hate like the red light district though. I hate like that bit of Amsterdam. It's like just my least favorite part of the city.
It's a weird one, right? Because it's like, I think it's called the Oud Church. It's the oldest building of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's smack bang in the middle of the red light district. So if you want to go and like do the touristy thing and check that out, you've got to like literally go through it, you know. And if you're going in the daytime, some of them daytime hookers.
Oh god.
Scary.
yeah.
It was us three that went the first time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good time.
It's just my least favorite part of Amsterdam. It's just so like tacky.
It's like a different world, isn't it? It's
It is. I think we only went red light district a couple of times, and that was because we sort of walked to and from it to get to the train station.
Yeah.
Because the train station's like at the far end, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to walk through you walk like around that area, don't you, to get through there. But it's like where we were. We kind of like it was like the nicer bit, like around the Vondel Park. It's really nice. Lots of nice cafes. The actual park is obviously really nice as well. So
Cool.
Yeah, when the weather's good, it's awesome in there.
Yeah. Well, me and Fee went a few years back, and we went in the summertime, like height of summer. And everywhere was packed, but it was literally like tropical weather. It was so nice. It was so hot.
I mean, I've been obviously once to you guys. I mean, Hannah went a few years ago as well in June. Same again. The weather was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I do really like Amsterdam. Like, it's probably one of my favourite European cities, anyway.
Oh, fair play. So, since you got back, Hammers, done anything interesting? I mean, we briefly spoke on the. We did the live stream the other day, but that actually hasn't been put out yet. So.
Me and my girlfriend have both been busy. We've both got offered new jobs. Actually, that's
cool.
really the biggest thing.
Sweet.
So we're kind of like in between Well, I'm still working, obviously, but we're in between.
Both got jobs in a red light district of Amsterdam.
Hamby would thrive.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So that's all the stuff we've been going on at the moment. So we're kind of just like, it's kind of like exciting / a little bit sort of stressful time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all going well. Yeah.
Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Grizzo, what have you been up to, dude?
So I think I was on about 2 weeks ago last, wasn't I? Maybe something like that.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I think I had you on. We spoke about. Oh man, I can't remember. That can't have been the guitar solo episode.
No, it's been on since then. I can't. Every time we do this, I always forget what the last episode was.
Yeah, same. The last episode I did was one where I had my buddy Ben on, and we spoke about the best cover songs. And I do have to say before we carry on, apologies for the editing on that one. It wasn't until
what are we drinking?
I was pretty lax on listening to the episode back afterwards. And I'm not the best like editor of these things, but it's like a formula. I do it every time. I must have real messed up because Ben messaged me saying, "Dude, what are we drinking's in the wrong place," and I thought like he's talking about like the structure of the show. And so I'm thinking, maybe I'll, And then when I listened to it, I was like, no, it's in the wrong place. Like, we're literally talking about, like, his project or something, and it fully just goes, "What are we drinking?" It's not great, so apologies for that. But, Grizzo, man, sorry, what have you been up to, dude?
Yeah, so before Hamby would have gone to Amsterdam, me and Hannah went to Iceland for 4 days.
Yeah,
which
nice.
was nice. Which was really cool. It was really cold, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. But the day we got there, it was like 18 degrees here.
Yeah.
And then it was like -2 when we landed in Reykjavik. Absolutely hammering down with snow. And I was like, this is cool. But yeah, it was good. I mean, I think the second day, because a lot of the stuff is outside the city.
Yeah.
It is quite rural, obviously. So we rented a car, which we thought was a really good idea. So
right.
I hadn't driven for about 3 weeks anyway because of my arm.
Yeah.
So we rented an automatic over there, and then Iceland drive on the other side of the road. So it's the first time I've driven on the other side of the road, and I hadn't driven at all for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And we were driving like in the middle of nowhere, like hammering down with snow, and the roads in Iceland are so bad, like freaking
really?
awful. Yeah, mate, like crater-sized holes, because you've literally got like Reykjavik, which is the city, and then about 5 minutes out of it, it's just nothing. It's just emptiness. Just mountains, and it's just barren.
Yeah.
But we were driving. I did like this tour, like the waterfalls and like these different canyons and stuff, which was really cool. Yeah. It's about like a 5-hour long loop, and we were about 10 minutes back outside the city on the way back, and we hit like the last pothole possible, and just had a total blowout.
Oh no way!
Yeah, and we were like, oh fuck. So literally middle of nowhere, and got picked up anyway, and got a new tyre, but it was proper stressful.
Yeah, can imagine,
I was there like trying to ring the rental company and stuff. I had like no phone signal or anything.
Yeah.
So I was using Hannah's phone, and I was trying to ring them and they weren't answering. And then like I had a call back off like a UK number, so I answered it. And it was like, "Hello, this is Hillary's Blinds," because we had some blinds fitted a couple of weeks ago. We're like, "This is Hillary's Blinds, coming back for feedback." And I was like, "We're fucking Iceland, we're gonna blow out." Just fucking hung up.
Call the police.
But yeah, I mean, to be fair, that was stressful, but like it didn't really like mark the experience.
Yeah.
It was really
I saw the pictures you put on, and yeah, like it looks amazing, dude. Iceland is one of the places that I have wanted to go to for a really long time. I'm just sort of fascinated by the country.
It's definitely like a short week type visit. There's not actually a lot there really, which surprised me.
Yeah.
But it was really beautiful. But like Hamby said with Amsterdam, it was so expensive, man.
Oh, really?
It was so expensive. It was ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
We stayed in a hotel. We were like, oh, let's just buy some stuff, Like the breakfast was included. We were like, let's buy some sandwiches, make some sandwiches to take out for lunch, nice and cheap instead of buying to eat out. It was like £8 for like a jar of jam.
Jesus.
Yeah,
must be some good jam.
It was like £7 for some like Doritos. It was mad expensive.
bro.
That was way worse than Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's obviously because it's just an island. Everything gets imported.
Oh yeah.
And that's why the prices are so high.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. As I said, I saw your pictures. Looks really cool. Super envious, jealous. What have you been up to since you got back?
So we've had some work done on the house in the last week.
Oh, I remember you saying, yeah.
Which has been a bit mad, to be fair. So we've had some damp works done in the house, in the living room of the hallway. And we've had to move out into Hannah's mum's for a few days, move back in. We've now come back in and the walls have been tore down, replastered, all the skirting board's gone, just covered in dust. So I think Thursday, Hannah was working at her mum's still, and I came back after they finished the works. And the house was literally like a dust bag. It was so much dust in the house, man. So I had all the windows open, I had all the doors open, hoovering up, just trying to get the dust out of the house.
Yeah.
And we'd had to get everything out of the living room as well, so we could do all the works. So I was getting it all back in. And this is when, I don't know if it snowed for you guys or not, but it snowed here the other day.
Yeah, it's been
quite heavy.
Off.
So I was in a pair of shorts, I didn't have a shirt on, had my headphones on. And I was sat on the sofa having a 5-minute break because I was proper sweating my ass off. And just down the road from our house is a school. And all the parents were queuing up outside in the snow with their jackets on, woolly hats on.
Yeah.
And they were looking at me sat there shirtless in a pair of shorts with all the windows and doors open in the house. And it's 2 degrees.
I didn't realise to do that they'd have to rip the plaster off the walls. I thought it was the sort of thing they could do where they drill a little hole and inject some stuff in or something.
There's different types, but ours it shouldn't have any damp whatsoever, any damp course.
Okay.
So we've had to fully inject it, and there's a lot of bad damp in the house really. But yeah, they've ripped down about 1.5 meters worth of plaster and wall and brick, and had to redo it, and pretty messy.
Have they done a good job putting it back?
Yeah, done a really good job.
Okay, good.
So the last few days I've just been painting really. Just kept me busy anyway.
Yeah, nice. I actually really enjoy painting. A lot of people hate it. I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah, I love painting.
Find it quite satisfying.
Music playing all day and just been painting. Yeah. It's been good.
Sweet. Well, that sounds interesting. You guys have both been on holiday, both done loads of cool stuff. I have done absolutely nothing. The highlight of my week was I finished the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Oh, okay, you finished it.
Mate, you've started playing it, haven't you, Adam?
Yeah, I played a few hours of it when it first came out. And it is a good game.
I absolutely loved it. Loved the combat in it. The music made
great, man. So good.
Going into a fight and then huddling up and then, killing a load of aliens to, whams, wake me up before you go.
I know, it's so good.
Yeah. It got me thinking, more games should have, actual, songs in them.
The thing they did well in that game is they really captured the vibe of the Guardians.
Oh, 100%. I think that the Guardians in that game are on par with the Guardians in the films and stuff.
I know. They did really well.
The writing in it was great. Along with that, I also watched that Peacemaker TV series.
Oh, okay.
The one with John Cena in it. That was really good, and that also had a banging soundtrack. I was actually Shazamming a couple of times every episode to find out what the song was. So all we've been listening to in my house, bar the new Chili Pepper album, all we've been listening to is 80s hair metal for days now. So if either of you ever go... I've put a couple of tracks in the playlist, actually.
Okay.
But if either of you ever go on my ultimate playlist, you'll see that the last 5 albums, it's all hair metal, dude. It's so cool. Yeah, and other than that, me and you, well, us three, have been talking about getting tickets to go see Red Hot Chili Peppers UK, which was quite a funny thing because I sent it first to Hamby, and Hamby was like, I think you straight away, you were like, tribute band, and I was like, yeah.
No, I wasn't. Because I looked at it I was at work and I looked at it at a glance, and I was like. Yeah, just get him, man. I didn't even. I was just like,
because it just said.
For sure, I'll take him.
I took a screenshot. I took a screenshot and it just said, "Red Hot Chili Peppers UK tickets, Birmingham,"
Yeah, that's
that's what I saw.
And then I sent it to Adam, and Adam was like, "What? No way!" And I was like, "Dude, read it, man. They're playing at the Dark Horse in Birmingham."
I was out walking Moose, right, and I just saw it. I was like, "Whoa!"
Well, the thing is, I was at work and I saw it and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Like,
11
yeah,
quid a
get them.
ticket.
Buy it, man.
And then I was like, "That doesn't make sense." So I was like, £11, Mosley? I was like, "This don't add up."
So apparently they are, the UK's number one tribute act for the Chili Peppers. Although it's a bit kind of like, it's a shit name, isn't it? Like, come up with something like, you know,
There must have a better name there somewhere.
Yeah, well, at least, what about Funky Monks?
Mm.
You know, that's a cool name for a Chili Pepper tribute band. RHCP UK is the name of the band, and but I actually do want to go see him. So if you guys are down, we'll book tickets. And
that name, the Red Hot Chili Peppers UK tickets is a proper dick tease, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it was it Hamby? You said you can see, like, you know, how
sued.
people are accidentally buying tickets for that, turning up, and they're like, "Whoa!"
Oh man, imagine that. You're so disappointed.
Turning up outside the gig and being like, "This is a tiny pub." Like, God. But yeah, should be a good night. So I think we're going to get tickets for that while they're still about, because I fully think that they will get sold out because the amount of people buying them. Yeah. So that's at the end of the month. So we're going to do that. That's all. That's basically all for my week. I mean, I said to Hamby just before we started that my workplace did a competition over the last couple of weeks, and the sort of final of it was today. It was a competition to, you know, who can get the best picture of their branch, and first place, baby, 100 big boys.
Oh, baby, really?
Which I went 50s with my manager. So 50 quid for taking a couple pictures, you know, easy.
That's good. Fair play.
Yeah, I just did, like, you know how I do these podcast pictures. It's just like a collage with both of us, like, you know, and it won. So, but that's my week. If neither of you guys have anything else to add, maybe we'll move on from there.
Yeah, take it.
So I think we are going to be talking about the new Chili Pepper album, Unlimited Love, our thoughts and like a general review and our ideas and things. But before we do that, let's jump into everyone's favourite segment. It's What Are We Drinking?
What are we drinking?
Okay, hopefully that was in the right place this time, and it wasn't just crickets. All right, I have a drink. Adam, Hamby, I know you've probably got a drink. Adam doesn't have a drink because you still can't drink at the moment.
No. I'm on with a good old cold glass of water.
Don't bring that shit here.
Cup of tea.
I did have a coffee.
Come on, man.
I've got a coffee mug here.
I believe you.
I've already finished it.
All right then, Hammers. What have you got, bro?
I've had a beer that I've had so often on this. I think.
I know what that is straight away.
But it's really nice. It's really nice, and I buy crates of it.
Costco special, yeah.
So whenever I go to Costco, I get a crate of it because it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's Paulaner Müncher Hell, and it's a German lager, and it's really, really nice. And yeah, it's probably one of my favourite lagers, to be fair.
Yeah,
it's lovely.
Yeah. You've had that. I think we're coming up 3 or 4 times.
You've had it as well. I brought it around once.
I have. Yeah, I have actually. It was nice.
It's a lovely beer.
I've got 2 beers in my fridge, but both of them I've had on the podcast before, and one of them is that beer called Citra that I really love. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna hang on to that until I can actually sit down and really enjoy it. So I've got something a little bit different, and it's actually something that I took the piss out of on a previous episode. It is Hooper's Classic Cherryade.
Oh, what the hell is that?
It's 4% Cherryade, alcoholic Cherryade.
I reckon that's probably quite nice, actually.
Well, I don't have high hopes.
I reckon that's the kind of thing that you could have on like a really hot day.
Is that a B&M job, is it?
It was a B&M job. Yeah. I went into the B&M and I, no joke, have now had every single ale that they sell there is now been had on the podcast. So I was looking at the ciders and things and I was like, nah, I can't bring myself to get one of those. And then I saw this and I thought, yeah, go on then. I know I have mentioned it before because I mentioned it and been like, all they had was cherry aid, and I'm not going to drink that. Ha ha ha. But yeah, so I'm going to crack this, and I'm going to let you know how it is.
Cherry aid with vodka, then, basically.
Oh God, I hope not.
Guessing it is.
It's a good budget
It probably
WKD.
will be, won't it? Smells good. Smells like.
I reckon it's
I reckon
actually
it'd be
gonna be
nice, yeah.
surprisingly quite
It's-
tasty.
it'll be nice.
It smells like like cheap, 60p 2 litre bottle of cherry aid's what it smells
You
like.
can't,
Yeah,
beat, you can't
yeah.
beat it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't taste alcoholic in the slightest.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
Like, to just literally taste of cherry aid.
He's actually bought like 10 of these. He's going to be pissed at the end of this.
Yeah. No, it's good. It tastes like it tastes almost like a craft cherry aid. Like it's more cherry-y.
Craft cherry aid.
Yeah.
Or vintage.
A new term.
He's talking from experience.
It tastes like more cherry-y than like the cheap ass cherry aids.
Cherry.
It tastes like genuinely fruity. It just says mouth-watering cherry notes inspired by the Pop Man of days gone by.
Pop man.
British classic.
A good bouquet.
Great aroma. Yeah. It's all right. It's I'd maybe compare it to like a hooch or something else that's like a fruity alcoholic drink.
How sweet is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
6.
Oh, it's not bad for a cherry aid.
It's
Not
not.
bad.
It's not overly sweet.
You don't want
but
it
it's
too
sweet
sweet.
enough. Yeah, it's.
You've got a
sweet
lot
enough.
of drink left to go there.
I do.
What are you-
Yeah. I'll make my way through that though. Like, and to be fair, I'm glad I like it because, yeah, then I can just keep going.
What are your guys' opinions of like radlers and hooches and things? Like, I've got a soft spot for them. I quite like them.
Radler is that the Foster's lemon thing?
Yeah, but you could. Well, radler's like a generic term, isn't it?
Oh,
For
okay.
just beer and lemonade. But I think radler, like the stuff you buy in the shop, is Foster's. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't like Foster's, but I actually thought that Radler was okay. Wasn't it just?
Yeah.
It was only like 2% alcohol or something, but
Yeah.
it was like really zingy lemony. I quite like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a massive fan of lemon altogether, to be honest. Unless it's like a bit of
Oh,
lemon
really?
on a pancake, then yeah.
that's very
Lemon favourite-
specific.
Yeah.
That's
So you don't-
literally it.
Fanta lemon? No.
I like Fanta lemon, but it's very specific things. Like lemon flavoured sweets, I can't stand. Like lemon meringue, I can't stand. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
it's like either one or the other. I either love it or hate it, and
Yeah.
you know,
fair
Radlers
enough.
and Hooch, nah.
I
I've got a soft
actually
spot for 'em.
I really like hooch. I think it's delicious.
Yeah.
But
I've
like
got
the
a bit of a
hooch,
soft
the
spot for
hooch
'em.
classic. Yeah.
It's got to be a really nice sunny day.
Oh yeah.
Have it with some ice. Oh, delicious.
Yeah, because it's so low alcohol that you don't need to
Yeah.
worry about it. You can just like, you know, you can still have a drink with everyone, but it just it's sometimes it's nicer than drinking like a piss water lager.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised with that. It's nicer than I thought it was. You do get I've got the sort of like alcoholic heat in the back of my throat a little bit from it, but it's not strong.
You're gonna have some
So,
cherry burps later on.
Yeah. Oh
Delicious.
yeah. Hell yeah, Dave. Yeah. All right. I think we'll leave that one there, dudes.
What are we drinking?
Hamby. I always look forward to it when you're on the show, bro. It's Hamby's time to shine. It's Hamby's ham bone to pick.
He's pissed off, he's angry. His name must be Hamby. It's Hamby's ham bone to pick.
All right. This one's mainly because I went on holiday last week.
Yeah.
And so, I've been abroad during the COVID times before Christmas. We went to Spain.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too bad in terms of like forms that you have to do. It wasn't too bad. We just did like a QR code, and they let you in. Basically, there was no testing or anything like that.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
fully vaccinated, so it was easy peasy. We went to the Netherlands, and the Netherlands, fair enough, they dropped their testing requirements the day before we went. But they were like, but you still have to do this health declaration form, a vaccine declaration form,
Oh, yeah.
copies of your vaccine records. I know Adam probably had something similar. to Iceland. And it was all this stuff, and I was really organised the night before, making sure they asked for 2 copies of each as well.
Oh shit! Okay.
So we printed everything out, everything was there, and they didn't check anything.
Oh,
I could have literally not done a single piece of paperwork, and they didn't check it. And I said to Tilly after, I was like, that was a complete waste of time. I spent so long fretting, have I got that? Everything's all making sure I've got everything.
I hate that sort of thing. That's so annoying.
Boarding passes as well. Obviously, you always get them, and it's really that was a complete waste of time. All of that, and it was so stupid as well, because when we got to Schiphol Airport, they had 4 people on checking passports, and there would have been I'm not even exaggerating. There would have been about 300 or 400 people queuing up for this,
right?
And it took ages. And I said to Tilly, I thought they were checking COVID documents, and I said, isn't it a bit ironic they're checking COVID documents, yet they're cramming 400 people into this tiny ass room? It's just but we were there for an hour, and it was oh god, but annoying stuff. I'm hoping that we don't have to do that sort of stuff anymore. But
that's annoying. So the only thing I can sort of relate that to is for example, if you got to get a train, and it's train tickets already super expensive in this country, especially if you're doing quite a long ride. So you're right, I've got to get a ticket. Buy your ticket online. You try and get a cheap one or something. You end up paying through the nose for it. Then you get on the train and nobody checks your ticket the whole time.
Yeah.
And you're just fucking hell. Yeah, I literally could have just got on the train, rode it for 2 hours or whatnot, and then got off and literally fine. But you know that the one time that you don't is the time that they will ask.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And I have been thrown off a few trains for not having a ticket. So luckily not fined or anything. But yeah, definitely thrown off. But yeah, dude, that's really annoying. Was it somewhat similar for you, Grizz?
Honestly, ours was really easy. So obviously every country is different at the moment, but Iceland literally didn't require anything except for just
standard stuff.
COVID, your vaccine passport. That was it.
Yeah.
So I just had it downloaded on my phone, and it was literally bish bash bosh. Checked in, and we were straight on the plane.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, I mean, it was really easy. So it just shows how everything's so much different still.
Yeah.
Spain, when I went last year, was way easier than Netherlands. But yeah, and that was months ago. That was before Christmas. But,
well, I guess they're all different, aren't they? But still, super annoying stuff, man. If anyone listening to this has their own ham bone to pick, email us in. We'd love to hear them, and maybe we can, me and Hamby we can discuss them. So send an email, dudewutpodcast@gmail.com, or on Facebook, or at DudeWutPodcast on Instagram. Yeah, man, annoying stuff. All right, let's leave that one there.
He's pissed off, he's angry, his name must be Hamby. It's Hamby's ham bone to pick.
All right, little bit of entertainment news now. I don't have that many news stories for this week, but I've got a lot of notes. One of them's kind of I don't know, it's a little bit funny. See what you think of this, right? So I don't know if you guys have seen any of the DC movies with the Flash in them. The new guy who's playing the Flash, an actor called Ezra Miller.
No.
He was also in these new Fantastic Beasts films.
Okay.
Basically, he had got himself arrested in Hawaii for disorderly conduct recently. Apparently, what happened was he was at a bar and he was having some drinks, and a 23-year-old woman started singing karaoke, and he got so pissed off that he went up, basically grabbed the mic off her, told her to sit down or whatnot. Then he lunged himself at a guy who was trying to play some darts, and basically just caused a massive scene, and got picked up by the cops basically. And there's a mugshot and he's smiling and whatnot. That was on the Sunday night. Then on the Monday, he I don't know. I sort of tried to get a few different sources for this. I'm mainly getting my information from the Evening Standard, their website. But apparently, what happened was he burst into this couple's room in like the middle of the night, made threats, told the husband that he will bury. He said, and this is a quote: "I will bury you and your slut wife." And then he stole their passports and stuff. Now this guy, he's fronting some big movies coming out soon. There's like that whole big Flash movie with like all the different Batman and stuff that are going to be in it. So yeah, it's not good for Warner Brothers, who've got to, you know, like they've got to push this movie with this dude who's like threatening people and stuff.
It's got to be drugs or alcohol, surely.
Yeah, I mean, there's no information about that yet, but
it's got to be.
You think so? Yeah, you don't. I mean, we all know how incredibly annoying karaoke can be, especially when someone thinks they're good. But yeah, that's taking it a step further, and so apparently, this is what I didn't understand. I think that the couple that bailed him out from what happened in the bar was the couple that he burst in the middle of the night. Yeah, I think so. So they've basically gone to the police, gone to the court and whatnot, and the judge has given them a what's it called when you can't go near them? Restraining order.
Yeah.
He's basically issued a restraining order saying it's necessary to grant the couple's petition to prevent further harassment. So Ezra Miller, not a good dude at the moment.
Didn't get taken out by Dr. Bounty Hunter. he's in Hawaii, isn't he?
He's recast him and do Tom Holland as a Flash.
Oh God, for fuck's sake! You know they would as well. They would.
Tom Holland.
What was it? Yeah, fucking Tom Holland. Next little bit of news. Now this is quite sad. I find it quite sad. Bruce Willis, you know, legendary actor. His family, I think it was actually his daughter, put a post on social media this week saying that unfortunately her father Bruce Willis is retiring, or he's stepping back from his acting career due to health issues. Now it's come out that basically Bruce Willis is been diagnosed with something called aphasia or aphasia. I don't know how it's said, but apparently it's a language disorder, and it basically stops the brain's ability to just to do all stuff language, you know, to understand and to speak and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, yeah, I mean, I feel kind of bad because me and Tomo have been taking the piss out of Bruce Willis for a long time for his, you know, his choice of movies recently, where he's acting like he just doesn't give a shit and doesn't know what's going on. But to be fair, I've been thinking about it, and I think like he probably has just done anything. Like any role that comes to him, he's probably done to just put some money in the bank. Yeah, he probably knew he was going to be stepping away.
Yeah, and also I guess
so he was just like, "I'll do all of it."
You know, if you do, he's not a big budget actor any day. Do you know what I mean anymore? He's had his heyday.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah,
but I guess it's more just fun as well, isn't it? As well as making money.
Yeah. It's come out as well that his stunt double was saying that a lot of the time he had issues like with lines and things. So a lot of the time he's wearing an earpiece and he's getting the lines right before he has to say them, which obviously is going to affect your performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Bruce Willis, legendary actor, so many hits. I mean, the dude has had a hell of a career.
Yeah,
I mean, I sent you a picture the other day because I was listening to some stuff. Had a few beers in the night and I was listening to some stuff. Then I opened Spotify the next morning to put on a podcast, and it opened what I was listening to, and I was listening to like a Bruce Willis album because the dude can play harmonica, man. Yeah, so yeah, it's sad that it is a shame.
It is sad. I mean, how old is he now? It must be late 60s, hadn't he?
I think so. Yeah, late 60s. Yeah, which I mean isn't super old, is it?
Not really. I mean, he's had one hell of a career, hasn't he?
Well, yeah.
But still,
can you think of a favourite Bruce Willis film?
Got to be Die Hard.
My favourite Bruce Willis was probably Sin City.
Okay, that's a good choice. Yeah, I would probably say The Fifth Element.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Hambus?
I'll go for the basic bitch answer and say Die Hard, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Classic.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot to choose
That's
from.
fair enough. That's
Yeah.
fair enough.
Die Hard
all right.
4, isn't it really handy?
Die Hard 4.0. A good day to die hard. Was that Die 5?
Yeah, I think it was.
All right, next little bit of news. HBO on their HBO Max Insta or Twitter or something announced the release date for the upcoming Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon. So it's coming out on August 21st. I am not looking forward to it, but I will watch it when it's out. Me and Fee were incredibly late boarding the Game of Thrones train. We watched it a few years after the whole thing had finished, and I actually started watching it as it was airing, and I thought it was kind of crap. Like I just wasn't interested. But then we went through. They're all on Sky, so we went through and we watched all of them, and I quite enjoyed it. I even enjoyed the series which people say are crap.
The last one.
Yeah, like it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think the whole show is amazing, but it's just a lot of people raged. I mean, have you seen it, Adam?
I haven't finished it, so I was quite late as well. I think I was a couple seasons in when I started watching it.
Yeah.
And I got to about season 4, and I just sort of lost steam with it. Like I was really enjoying it, but I think I sort of went a couple of weeks without watching it, and then the plot's so intertwined, isn't it? So many different plot points, different arcs.
It's definitely one of those. Yeah, it's one of those shows that you need to like binge it.
Yeah.
You have to just back to back it.
When me and Tilly first met, that's what we said. When we first started dating, basically, that's what we did. Like on the weekends, we were like, let's watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And we caught up to it as the last season, was being released.
Oh yeah.
And I actually was genuinely really, really into it.
Yeah.
Until the last season, but the last season was a huge disappointment.
I think it is, but then
yeah.
I think it only is because they basically just. It's like they quickly wrote something to just end it.
Yeah.
But then also the books weren't finished, so how can they? They did what they could, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I think the books still aren't finished, are they?
No. It's just such a shame because it was obviously and is still a really popular TV show when it was actually being released. But I don't know. It's just a shame because how many seasons are there? 5 in total, 5 or 6.
It's 8, isn't there?
8. I
think
can't
it's
remember.
8.
It's been years since I watched it.
Oh, okay.
Just the last season is just the last season and a half, I would say. It's just kind of a crap way to end it because it's the rest of it's pretty good.
I think when
I thought
popular,
it started losing. I thought it started losing steam when Jon Snow started calling Daenerys Dany for short.
Oh,
Come on, Danny.
You'll spoil it for Adam.
I don't care.
That's not.
I probably will watch it at some point, but it's not at the top of the list.
The ending's so bad, man. It's like they literally the last 2 episodes of the entire show is it's just so rushed. It's
it is. It's like they got the intern to write the script for the last episodes.
It's you got to wrap up this whole massive epic fantasy TV show in an hour. It's
still enjoyable though, and I would recommend watching it. I would recommend watching it.
I think when something's that popular as well, and it's got that big a following, it's always going to disappoint anyway.
Yeah,
no matter how good the
definitely.
ending is. There's only a certain few shows that actually end on a good point, like Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
True that. There's
When you
some
look
of
at all
my
the big
loads
shows
of
like the
my
last
favourite
20
shows.
years.
Yeah,
A lot of them had disappointing endings, really.
yeah. Defo. House of the Dragon. It's the prequel series. It's going to focus on the Targaryens and their empire kind of thing. It's got some good actors in it. Huh?
Matt Smith.
Yeah, I was going to say Matt Smith
Sorry,
is
I
in
need
it.
to talk to it.
No, it's all good.
I'm a
Matt
massive
Smith
fan.
and a lot of blonde wigs. So look forward to that. August 21st. Right. In the last episode, it was the whole Will Smith slap thing at the Oscars. Not to go into it too much because I spoke about it for a long time.
So many memes.
Yeah,
I got
had
so bored of it like so quickly.
It really pissed me off, and I explained about everything in the last episode, so I won't go into it too much. But what we'll do is there's been some developments. So since last week, the Academy announced that they had initiated disciplinary proceedings against Will Smith for inappropriate physical contact, abuse, and threatening behaviour. Apparently, it's come out that the Academy, as soon as Will Smith got back to his seat, they actually asked him to leave. It's something I said that they should have done, 100%. They should have dragged him out of there. But apparently they asked him, and he was like, haha, no. But that's not fully confirmed yet. That's just sort of a rumour that happened. But anyway, as soon as the Academy announced that they are, starting disciplinary proceedings, Will Smith put a big post out saying that he resigns from the Academy.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's like, he can... It's kind of silly. The only thing it means really is that he can't vote, basically. But he can still go to the awards, he can still be nominated, he can still win awards, and he doesn't have to give his award back.
It literally means nothing.
It means nothing. It's basically just him going you're gonna kick me out? Well, I quit. Oh, I gotta say, man, I am not a Will Smith fan at the moment. I genuinely cannot stand the geese at the minute.
The thing that I can't get my head around is people defending it.
You can't.
I know.
It.
Yeah.
Online. I know. But there's actually a lot of people online saying oh, either oh, he's sticking up for so and so.
Yeah. Well,
or they're trying to make it out into a bigger thing than it is.
Yeah. Well, the thing is also though is because they were talking to everyone on the red carpet about it, and I was saying to Ben last week, half of the other actors, half of them are saying, I think what he did was right. He was defending his woman and stuff, and it's what the hell? So it's okay to just go and attack someone because you don't like what they said.
Bullshit.
And I said what I said last week, I worry for the comedians now who are thinking, shit, can I say that joke? Am I going to get punched by someone, coming up on stage because someone's like, well, Will Smith did it, so.
The thing is, it's I don't know. I think Will Smith looks like a fucking idiot.
Oh, he does, yeah. And I think
most sane people just think that. Yeah, he just looks like an idiot. He just looks like somebody who can't take a joke, basically.
I think the other people defended him that are celebrities, are obviously friends of him, and they can't really chat shit about him when he's in his ear.
It just looks like he's. To be fair, it makes Will Smith look bad, but it makes Will Smith just look sad because it makes Jada look like fucking Satan.
Yeah, I know.
Will Smith is slapping his knees at that joke. You know what I mean?
I know, he loved it, man. He was loving it. He was laughing at it.
And he obviously, the camera's cut away. He's obviously looked at Jada. Jada has gone fetch me their souls. And then he's literally had to, oh, fine, I'll go make a fool of myself because of you cheating on me, but I'll do it,
Yeah, I know. It looks so bad.
But yeah, Will Smith, dick. Okay, moving on. Jim Carrey. Overall nice guy. Everybody loves him in Hollywood. He's announced that he's probably retiring after this next film. He just says that, he's basically done. He's really enjoyed sort of coming back to do the Sonic films, but he's probably going to retire. I say probably because that's exactly what he said. I think he did say, if there was a script that came his way that he thought was too perfect, then he would come back. But he's going to leave it alone after Sonic 2. And sort of tying that into the Will Smith thing, he was one of the first celebrities to do a full-on TV interview where he's basically saying, his behaviour is sickening, is what he said. Nice guy Jim Carrey, Hollywood legend, retiring, unfortunately. But then he sort of has been retired for a long time, really.
Yeah, I can't really remember anything of massive significance he's done in the last sort of 10 years, really.
Sonic, that's it. And he did that documentary where he's being all weird with a big beard and he's painting shit.
Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. He's had a bit of a rough time, I think, because there was a whole situation with his wife or partner or someone. Next little bit of news. Disney have been re-editing a load of their Disney Plus shows. People have noticed when they're watching episodes of specifically Falcon and the Winter Soldier that scenes where people are getting smacked and blood is flying, or there's a specific scene where I think Winter Soldier throws a pipe at someone and it goes through their arm and pins them to a wall, have been completely re-edited by Disney. So now there's no blood and there's no like actual stabs or anything like that.
Yeah, I've heard about that because I've only just watched Winter Soldier about a week ago.
Oh, okay.
And all of that was in there when I watched it.
Yeah.
So they literally did it a few days after I watched it.
Yeah. I can understand Disney's brand, family friendly and everything, but like once it's out there, you're just fucking with the people's vision and their jobs and what they've made, their creation. If you feel like it's excessive, put a disclaimer at the beginning.
Yeah.
Some scenes inappropriate for children due to violence.
The thing is, with that show is there's a lot of like political undertones to it. Yeah. So it's not really like a child-friendly sort of material anyway. So what's the point of editing out blood when a lot of it's about race and discrimination and
definitely
refugees, and what's the point? You're going to edit stuff out with blood. If
I just think that a lot of people worked really hard on that show and other shows, and it's just not really fair on them to be messing with their creation after it's done.
No, it's
not like it's unacceptable. If it was something totally unacceptable, yeah. But it's literally a bit of blood. But it's Disney, so all right, last little bit of news, and this is going to segue into the main talking point. The Red Hot Chili Peppers have been given a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. About time.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a big sort of ceremony where they all looked at it, they all freaked out. Anthony Kiedis licked it, and then they had a big chat, and they basically were talking about what they want people to do while standing on the star, which was quite cool. And Chad Smith obviously brought up Taylor Hawkins, his good pal, who died a week previous. So that is it for the entertainment news this week. Right now, the meat, the juicy meat of this podcast.
Oh, baby.
I'm going to call this podcast, I'm just calling it Unlimited Love, because we are going to... It was going to be just its own segment and we were going to do something else, but I thought we could probably talk about this for about 3 hours, so it's probably better to just make it its own show. We're going to just talk about things we love, things we don't like, general thoughts, our individual reviews, and then maybe together we'll come up with an out of 10 for the album and just stuff like that. So what I did before the episode was I sent, to sort of narrow it down, I sent the same series of questions to both you guys. Pros, cons, best solo, grooves, best tracks, stuff like that. So I thought we would just go through the categories one by one, go round the circle, as it were, and chime in with everyone else's points and just say what you think. So, Red Hot Chili Peppers have released their first album since The Getaway, which came out in 2016. It's the 12th studio album, sees the return of John Frusciante, who left the band in 2007, and the return of Rick Rubin as producer, because wasn't it Danger Mouse that produced The Getaway? Danger Mouse. So it had a different sound. Rick Rubin has been called the fifth Chili Pepper a lot because he's, basically been there with them the whole time and done a lot of their best stuff with them. Let's first talk about the pros / standout moments on the album. I should say the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think, is probably our favourite band. Like, each one of us here.
100%.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, Gunther, close second for you, Hamby.
I hesitated for a second.
Gunther and the Sunshine Girls.
And Jedward as well.
Right.
Gunther released a new single, man, called Sex Myself. It's very good.
I listened to it,
yeah. Okay, so, Grizzo, how about you start us off, and we'll go around like that. Just pros and standout moments.
Well, Oh, someone was ringing me then, sorry.
I thought you were just going to take a call then.
No, some random number started ringing me.
Right, mate? Yeah.
No, I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say, because I think we all obviously have liked the album. You know, that's obvious.
Yeah.
But I think we're all going to have different things to pick out, which is going to be interesting. So for me personally, I think the main pro is, you know, it's a big album with 17 songs, but for me, there isn't a single skip on there. I think we're all good songs. Obviously, there's some standouts, some other ones that are much better than others, but even the weaker songs, or, you know, songs like Poster Child that you've heard multiple times, Black Summer, still really good songs, especially in the context of the album. I think straight away you can hear like the impact of John coming back, you know, in the songwriting.
Yeah.
You know, it's just got that different. It's got a next level to it. You know, the Getaway and I'm With You. I really enjoyed both of them. You know, they're really different for the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
But you can hear, you know, what he brings massively.
Yeah, I think I agree that there's definitely not a skippable track on there. Like you can't help it. You put it on, and then before you know it, you've listened through the whole album.
I know. I've listened so many times now without even meaning to. You just put one song on.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go into the next one.
I'll just let it run. Yeah.
And next thing you know, you've gone through it again for like the 20th time. Like, it's ridiculous. But I think not the one best thing about it, but the one big pro is the mixing is amazing on it. It's so good.
I agree.
Everything's so clear, and it doesn't sound overproduced. I think the last couple of albums, especially Getaway, sounded a bit too shiny.
Very produced,
a bit too poppy. Where this, it sounds like raw but clear still, and every sort of instrument has its own space that it fills.
I think that's a really good point. Yeah, I also had that it's a long album. You mentioned that.
Yeah, that's what you want.
I thought that was really good. Yeah,
I could have another 17 on there. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
I'd love it.
Hamby.
Yeah, I really like it. I think one of the things that I said to Adam, to Harry, before was I like it because before it came out, I kind of didn't want it to just be like Stadium Arcadium 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of Chili Pepper fans probably secretly kind of wanted that, but it's kind of, you know, you want something different, and I like it because it's something new, but it also has taken things, I think, from the last two albums as well. Like, there's things in there that don't really sound like anything like pre I'm With You.
Yeah,
they definitely sound very I'm With You or The Getaway-ish. Not a lot, but in a few songs that you can, I could definitely hear it. Because you said about the moments, like standout moments.
Yeah.
And I really absolutely, Aquatic Mouth Dance is one of my favourite songs off the album.
It's banging.
And I love the end of it, the outro to it with the trumpets coming in, and it just I like it because it's obviously a really funky song, but it just sounds like, I think that bit of the song especially, it sounds like it could be off I'm With You. It sounds very similar to
tying into that point is what I've got, tying into that whole thing about people secretly wanting like a Stadium Arcadium 2. I've got that the album is return to form, but also a natural evolution of the sound.
100%.
Because the one thing I've said before, especially on the Things That Need to Just Stop podcast, was I said, you know, bands where everyone's in their 60s and they're doing the exact same shit over and over again, and people go, well, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, man, they're doing the same shit. No, I disagree. If you listen through every single Chili Peppers album, not that you would, but if you listen through them all chronologically, there is a natural, like, they're moving in a direction, and you can really hear that because, yes, some of the songs sound like, you know, they sound similar to some that were in The Getaway, or they have, like, an interesting chord structure. So you can hear that they haven't just gone, let's do Stadium again. You know, they've sort of gone like, no, like, we're moving forward, you know?
Yeah.
Chili Peppers are really good at that.
I think half the Chili Pepper fans probably would have wanted something new, and then half would have wanted just the same. It's like, I think so anyway, you know. But
so if any of you guys have any points about, because I've got obviously standout moments, we're talking like bits in tracks. Stick to the bit, because we're going to do what we think is the best track and honourable mentions a bit later on. So I'll go for one. A standout moment. The outro of These Are the Ways. Heavy,
Yes,
man.
heavy.
I listened to it the first time, and I was lying in bed with my beefy headphones on, with the bass booster thing, the one that rattles your skull, and when it's doing the, and I was like, fuck me, this is cool, dude. This is so heavy. So the outro of These Are the Ways is a standout moment for me. Grizzo?
I think there's several, and every time I listen to the album, someone else sticks out to me more than others. But I think on the first listen anyway, the first thing that stood out to me was literally I finished listening to Black Summer, it's album opener. I've heard it hundreds of times already.
Yeah.
Like the first 30 seconds of Here Ever After, we got the driving bass, the guitar comes in, Kiedis is rapping, like that. I was like, this album's gonna be fucking awesome. I just knew within 30 seconds it was gonna be good, just from that bit. And now when I listen to that song, it's got such a good groove, which I know when it comes to that later on. Yeah. But about 30 seconds, I was like, this is recaptured what they've done before.
Yeah.
But added more, and that really stood out to me.
Oh, good, man. Yeah, nice one.
Yeah.
Hamby?
Yeah, I think I had a couple. I think I really, really liked the ending for Aquatic Mouth Dance.
Definitely.
I also really, really like the outro for. I mean, I'm going to say it again because it's probably my favourite song off the album, and I'll come to it in a bit. But I really like the outro to the White Braids and Pillow Chair.
Oh man, I love that song.
Love that. Love that.
I don't know. I think it's
really,
almost
really surf rock meets rockabilly.
Yeah, it's really twangy.
That's exactly why I love it.
Yeah,
and it's like cliche as hell for the Chili Peppers, obviously, to mention all the places in California.
California.
But no, it's perfect, and I really, really like it, and it's like you say, I thought that surf rock kind of sound.
Cool. Yeah, very cool.
I do. One other one I would point out actually is the chorus on Heavy Wing as a standout.
I've got that in there. Yeah, hell yeah. I love it when they give John a chorus. Just give him a chorus.
It literally is a solo song with the Chili Peppers featuring.
Yeah, defo. Yeah. I got the guitars in the chorus on What You Thinking.
Yeah, 100%.
I love that little thing that he just does.
So good.
It's like a second long, but I love that little. Yeah, I just think that it's really good. Yeah. Guitars in the chorus of What You Thinking. Another thing, not a standout point, but I think that this is the best album for Kiedis' vocals since Stadium Arcadium.
I messaged you and said that when I was listening to it.
Yeah.
I messaged you and said it's probably more. It's up there. Like he's done. There's a lot of variety in it.
Yeah.
I know everybody goofed on it a little bit when Black Summer came out. on the album is really, really good.
I think maybe that's because you can tell that the core band are back. They're all having a great time. You can hear it, and I think maybe that's just Kiedis is back with his, it's back how he likes it kind of thing, and he's just more loose with it. I think I always think the weakest part of the Red Hot Chili Peppers is Kiedis' vocals. I love it, but I watched a live show of their gig the other day, and they did Snow, and he's fucking out of tune for half the song.
Yeah.
Really badly out of tune, but it's still great. But
it wouldn't be them without him, would it?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think he actually does a really good job on this album.
I think he's better on this album than he is on Stadium Arcadium, I think.
Fair enough.
I think he just adds so much more that he's never done before, melody-wise.
Yeah.
And, he's bringing back the rap, that sort of groove that he hasn't done for
really
a long time. Even, Stadium Arcadium didn't really have anything majorly groovy on it. And he definitely By the Way didn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's something he hasn't done for nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
I thought that. I think there's out of all of the recent records, there's definitely the most variety in the type of singing or rapping.
Yeah.
Like there's obviously things like Poster Child and things like that, and Aquatic Mouth Dance, but then there's also ones like Tangelo and
Yeah.
So like there's where they're more ballady kind of songs.
Yeah, definitely.
And you think I don't know. I think he does a great job actually. I think it's a strong album.
So going to Black Summer, we mentioned. I think that Black Summer was a perfect choice for the single. I think that I'm not going to mention the vocals because I'll get to that. But in terms of like just a song, a simple song that can get you pumped for the Chili Peppers, it's got a bitching guitar solo.
Yeah, great guitar solo.
Yeah, the drum, it's just Californication again on the drums. But I just think in terms of like a song to get you pumped, and the sort of singability of that song. I mean, you know the lyrics after one listen through. I just think it was the perfect choice, the absolute perfect choice. And if I had to choose a single to release that album to, it would be Black Summer 10 times out of 10.
Yeah. I really like Black Summer as the first single. I think there was some weird choices for songs they released after that.
All right, we'll get to anything that's a con, man. Save it for the con.
Okay.
Section.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
No, because I do want to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I got was the bass line in Aquatic Mouth Dance, and then I wrote down in brackets actually the bass line on every track.
Every song, man. Every song.
Yeah. Flea brings it. Really does.
Yeah. Massively. The thing is, he brings it every album.
He does, yeah.
And I think
he definitely takes a back seat sometimes, though. Like,
he does.
For example, Stadium Arcadium, I don't think is one of Flea's strongest albums.
No.
For bass playing.
No.
Especially when you listen to a few albums previous. When you listen to something like One Hot Minute, that's like amazing for Flea's bass playing.
I think when Frusciante's left, One Hot Minute, I'm With You in the Getaway, Flea's been the driving force, you know what I mean, creatively.
Yeah, you can tell that, yeah.
And, you can tell it in his bass lines, but I feel like he's carried that over into this album.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the bass lines are really cool. As I say, Aquatic Mouth Dance, just because it moves around a lot, but it's not like All Around the World where it's like, what are you doing? Boom, boop, 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 Yeah, any more standout moments, guys? Or pros in general.
Pros in general. That is
I've got a couple.
I mean, I know it might seem like a minor thing, but like, it's just a lot of catchy songs. I find myself like humming a lot of them throughout the day. Like when I have, I don't know. And I haven't actually listened to it that much. I've only listened to it I listened to it once on the plane, and it wasn't really a proper listen through. And I've listened to it twice since, like properly on my speakers. And I've already got a few songs in my head already.
Yeah, definitely. So talking of catchy, a point that I've got is the super catchy chorus on She's a Lover.
She's a Lover. I think that should have been a single, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
It's such a catchy song.
I probably would put it as a single, but it wouldn't be my first choice, no. Because I think that even though it is catchy, it's still sort of different. John's backing vocals on She's a Lover.
Yeah, top notch.
Yeah, absolutely top notch, but like high, like really high pitch he's singing on that. And I think it's so sing-alongable that I think some people might be like, what is this, if they haven't heard the Chili Peppers before.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, super catchy.
I think, every album you get like a run of songs, I think on like By Away you've got like Can't Stop, and then after that you've got like Don't Forget Me, Dose, Zephyr Song, you've got like these classic like 5 song run on an album. Excuse me. But this one, like from The Great Apes to like track 11, I think. So from like track 6 to like track 11 or 12.
6 to track 11, yeah.
You've got like an awesome, like probably the best run of songs, I think, on the Chili Peppers album.
I totally agree with you. So I mentioned when we were first chatting to it was the first time I listened through it. I was texting you like live, and I said, "Man, from track 6 onwards, it's just it just keeps
coming
stop.
and coming."
Yeah.
I said to Harry, I was texting him when I was listening to it, and I was like, second half of the album is definitely stronger than the first. Not that the first is bad by any stretch.
Yeah.
I think Harry said an interesting thing. He was like, "Oh, it's because you've heard a lot of the first half of them already.
I
And
think
I was
that,
like,
yeah.
maybe. I've heard
Yeah.
like 3 or
Because
4 of the
all
tracks
3
already,
of the
but-
singles are within those first 6 tracks.
Yeah,
so that's
true.
half of the first album you've already heard.
Yeah.
And if you're anything like me, you've heard it through a load of times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Those singles.
Well, track
So,
2
yeah,
and
like-
3 are also 2 of the best songs on the
Yeah.
album. They're all fucking so good.
Yeah, so I think it's just a little bit of fatigue on Black Summer, Poster Child, and
Not the one.
she what's it called?
Not the one.
Not the one. Yeah.
I really like Not the One. I
Yeah,
think that was probably
same.
after Black Summer. That was probably my favourite.
Yeah.
Not really single, but the song they released before it came out.
I've got 2 more standout moments. One of them is the bass solo on One Way Traffic.
Yeah.
Got to be at least one bass solo on the album, and Flea doesn't disappoint. And then also, I've written that I think the album ends really well with
Yeah, it does.
Heavy Wing and then Tangelo, except for the 20 seconds of nothing at the end of Tangelo. What's that about?
I think it's, if you listen to it in the album context, it makes sense. It's a nice little like haunted finish. But if you have it on like a Spotify playlist on shuffle,
Yeah.
it would be annoying.
Yeah, because the song finishes, and then it happened to me today. The song finished, and I was like, "What's going on? Where is it?" And then I was like, put headphones on. I was like, maybe there's like a hidden thing in there or something. There's nothing. It just why? I don't understand. 20 seconds of emptiness.
I like it as a last track.
It's perfect as a
I
last
think.
track. Yeah.
I felt the same way after the Getaway. 'Cause it was encore, wasn't it? I think at the end of the Getaway.
No, it was
Yeah.
Dreams of a Samurai. The last one was.
Oh,
The Dreams-
it was,
that was it,
yeah.
But I still thought. I remember listening to the same, and I thought the same. I was like, "Oh, this is a really good last song." It's
Yeah.
the same again. It's a nice song to end
So
on.
if either of you guys have any more pros or standout moments?
Probably some that I'll say later.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll come up.
All right, next category then. We've said what we loved about it. This is the cons. What did you not like so much? What did you think could have been better? Grizzo, you got any cons?
This is
I mean,
quite
I
hard.
found it pretty hard.
Yeah.
I'll say I found it pretty hard, but
I'm not going to lick its ass because for the sake of it, it is a great album.
Yeah.
I'm quite critical when it comes to music, but Chili Peppers are my favorite band. Been waiting for this album for 6 years from an album from them, let alone from one with Rashante.
yeah, defo.
But I think the one criticism at all I could actually pick out is every album has got like a standout hit single, like Danny California, By the Way, Snow, Can't Stop, Around the World, Californication.
Yeah.
Well, I think this album hasn't got one, which I don't think for me, it's not a bad thing, but I think people could see that as a bad thing. But I
know
think
what you
that
mean.
also sort of shows that they're not making this album to sell and make money. They're making it for the fans. They're not making it to be commercially successful.
I know what you mean, but I think that there is. I think that it might not be my favorite, but I think that Black Summer is that track. Off
I
this
think
album.
it is one track, but I think there's not. I think it
Because
sort of
I
shows-
listen to a lot of radio at work and stuff,
Yeah.
and Black Summer is all over the radio.
Yeah, I have heard Black Summer on my radio a couple of times. I think rock music really today isn't really. It's not a mainstream genre of
No.
music, is it really?
Yeah.
So there's nothing that's going to chart, in the UK charts or anything like that. But it's not important. Who gives a shit? If you enjoy the music, you enjoy the music, and they're clearly making it for themselves and for the fans now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's almost like the whole album is great. It's not there isn't just one track that's sort of the big one, But like what I'm saying is I think that for a non-Chili Peppers fan, the big track is Black Summer because it's so simple. You can shout it, it's got all of the elements of a Chili Pepper song. I think Black Summer is that track.
But I think, this is a pro, but I think, even though I said that's a con, hasn't got a standout single besides potentially Black Summer, I think this is the most consistent album from start to finish.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Not Grizzo, Hamby, the Hammers. You got the cons, bro?
it's difficult for the cons. I think I mentioned it earlier a little bit, but I think they had some weird choices of songs for like songs they were releasing before the album as singles.
Yeah.
So like Black Summer I can completely understand. you know, even for just promo purposes.
Yeah.
I can see why they picked that song. But the ones after that, like, I just felt like it was a weird mix. Like Poster Child, like I know, Harry, I know you really like it. I don't dislike it. It's just not. It's not up there for me in the album, and I don't know. I listened to it before the album even came out, and I was like, I don't know. And I thought, oh, maybe it'll grow on me, and it hasn't really grown on me. And then they released Not the One, which I really like. I really like it more now that I've listened to it in the context of the whole album.
Yeah.
I like it a lot more now. And then the one song they released the day before the album came out was These Are the Ways, with the music video. And like that's another one. Like I know you said you like it.
Yeah.
For me it's like it's at the bottom of the list for the album for me. I hate the chorus. I don't hate the chorus. I don't like the chorus.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think that I think that These Are the Ways was decent, and I would release that one when they released it. But I 100% agree that I think that Poster Child should not have been a single.
Yeah.
Like I get that they're trying to. They can't be like, here's all the best tracks, you know.
Yeah.
They need to be like, here's a taste of what you're gonna get off the album. But I think that like they, I just don't think it gave off the right sort of vibe for what the album is. If you get me,
I think there was a lot of sort of confusion about what they were, because you know, traditionally, you know, you release a song from an album and it's a single, it gets played on the radio, you know.
Yeah.
Like now, you know, it comes out on Spotify and stuff on streaming services. But when we were younger, it'd come out on CD, cassette, you know, and it'd be published and it'd be in stores, where you know now it doesn't really happen. So you know, Black Summer was a sort of promotional, you know, single for radio and so on. But then Poster Child and Not the One were like album teasers, sort of like what they did with The Getaway. Because of The Getaway, it was the same thing really. They released Dark Necessities, which is the standout single off that album, great song, and then we released We Turn Red and The Getaway, which are the two weakest songs on the album.
So I agree. I thought that We Turn Red was a weird single to release.
Yeah. 100%.
So I was sort of like, I feel like they're giving us like a variety, like a taste, and like this isn't what the album's going to be like. And I still think Poster Child is one of my least favourite, but I always listen to it when it comes on.
Oh yeah,
it just doesn't go anywhere. Just doesn't go anywhere.
So I've got 3 points, right? One of them relates to Poster Child, so I'll say it now so we don't have to repeat ourselves. I think a con, or something that I'm just not that keen on, is the vocal melody on Poster Child. I like the song. I think it's chill. I think it's really cool. I just don't like the way he's doing the Billy Joel thing, and he's just listing off so many things. But he's not. But it's the and it just gets a bit old for me, I think. And it's 5.5 minutes long or whatever.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I just don't think it goes anywhere. That's the problem. The first time I listened to it, I was like, this is a bit shit. And I listened to it again and again, and I was like, okay, I like it more, but it doesn't go anywhere at all.
It's like what you said. Once you've got it in the album, it works.
It does, yeah. It massively
works.
But
as a single, you're sort of like,
because it comes. I think it's Not the One is fourth, and then Poster Child's fifth, and that sort of picks the pace back up again. Yeah, and you're like, okay, you know, if you're digging it. Where when you listen to it by yourself, you're like, well, what is this? Like, you know, it's not going anywhere. It's 5.5 minutes of just the same verse.
Yeah, I agree. So like what I was saying was, I think, and it's unfortunate because it's all subjective.
Yeah,
I would say there's 3 songs on the album that like I just kind of can't get into. I like, and they're good songs, but I just can't get into them. And that it was Poster Child, These Are the Ways, and I think One Way Traffic. Those are the 3 tracks that I was like,
I like One Way Traffic. It's fun.
Yeah. Subjectively, I think that there's nothing wrong with them. I just can't. There's nothing wrong with them as such. I just can't get into it. You know what I mean?
That's fair enough.
It's all subjective.
Yeah.
And then it's unfortunate that 2 of them were released as singles.
Yeah.
So like, you know, so I remember the day before the album came out, I listened to These Are the Ways, and I was like, that, I don't know, I just thought the chorus was just kind of a little bit goofy.
What's this
and,
for?
like,
Sorry, These Are the Ways.
For These Are the Ways.
Yeah.
You know, I get it why they picked it. It's definitely like, you know, it makes a decent single, but
Yeah.
you know,
I agree. I think the lyrics are a little bit goofy on These Are the
Yeah.
Ways. But I think that I really like the song because it's the hardest. I think it's the hardest song on the album.
yeah.
And I really like that. You know, my main con, and this is barely a con. My main con is that typical Chili Peppers, they're always like, we wrote 5,000 tracks for this album, you know, and they don't release a double album. I really wanted this to be a double album. I had my hopes up. It's a big album. I mean, I'm so happy that it's as big as it is. But my biggest con is that it's not a double album.
Do you not think they'll drip feed it out?
I think they will.
I'm
Yeah.
beside you.
I think they
they'll
will.
release another album, like a band straight another album.
I think they will, but I would have rather have had this big, you know, Chili Pepper comeback with a double album.
What?
Yeah.
And you don't even need that many more songs for a double album.
No.
Five more.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
minimum.
I think they will release them sooner rather than later, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're teasing that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, my last con is Kiedis' accent on Black Summer. Now, I know that obviously this was the first single and everyone was really hyped for it and they put it on and they were like, okay.
That was the first. It was the thing is, it's literally the first thing you notice about the song.
Yeah,
You're like,
do,
okay,
yeah.
intro's cool, and then it's like,
it's weird because if you're a long-term Chili Pepper fan and you're trying to get someone to listen to, be like, trust me, listen to his band, they're amazing. You put that song on, you have to like explain it. No, wait, he doesn't sound like that. He's putting a voice on or something. Well, why is he? Well, I don't know, you know, like, but it's just it's okay. But then every now and again he'll say something and you're like, where he goes, my Greta weighs a ton. The archer's on the run.
Dark side of the moon.
Dark side of the moon. It's this weird sort of like Celtic pirate.
there was all the pirate memes when it came out. I remember.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it live, and like he sort of does it a little bit in the verses. I think it's cool. I just sort of. It was just a bit confusing to start with.
Well, I saw it was either like a track by track thing or like an interview or something, and he said he was trying to sing it like a Welsh folk song, and I was like, a Welsh folk song.
Oh my god, I had a mouthful of cherry aid then. Oh. Yeah, I think that well, it's different.
Yeah, it is. It's not bad.
I still
it's just
no, it's
different.
not bad at all. I think that Black Summer is a hell of a track. I absolutely love it. I still love it. It's the track I've listened to the most because I've obviously listened to it a million times when it was a single. I think it's a great song, and I just think it was a little bit strange, and if I guess it just further proves that Chili Peppers don't care about being mainstream anymore. Because there's a lot of people that have never heard of the Chili Peppers, and that is their first taste of it. Is a bloke literally singing with a shanty accent, you know?
Yeah.
That's those are all my cons. Have any of you guys got any more cons?
No, I agree with that. Like it's I do like Black Summer, but for the very first few times I listened to it, I thought it was kind of goofy. But then obviously, like, the actual track is catchy as hell.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's I heard it for the first time. I heard it live on one of the Jimmy shows.
Yeah. It's on Kimmel, I think.
And, and live it sounded really cool. And you know, when we go see them live, I'm looking forward to that. But
oh hell yeah!
It's you know, it sounds like it sounds really cool. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Grizz, any more cons?
No, I've literally got barely any to say, really, to be honest.
It's all good. That's good. I mean, I found it hard thinking of the cons, and like I said, my biggest con really isn't a con. It's just that I wish it was a double album. That's my biggest con. All right, moving on to the next category then. Best guitar solo. This album obviously saw the return of John Frusciante, arguably, well, I don't want to say the best, people's favourite guitarist from the Chili Peppers. So he's come back. Everyone was expecting like hella ball popping solos, and I don't think he disappointed. So, what's your favorite guitar solo? Grizz, go first.
Well, I think the first time I listened to the album, I was a bit in shock because you've been waiting so long to hear this, and you're finally hearing it. But I wasn't really picking out certain things like solos and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to it the first time. I was like, oh, there's not really any solos. But then you listen to each song again and again and again, and you're like, there's actually a hell of a lot of solos on this album.
Yeah, there's loads.
And I love the solo in Black Summer. I think it's a great solo.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I think he's going to do a lot of good stuff about live because they're going to play about every single gig.
Yeah.
My favourite solo, there's probably two. My first one is probably the one on What You Thinking. The one where it's just the feedback, and it just sounds like a solo off one of his solo albums, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Of like the Imperium or something. It's just properly gave me the chills the first time I heard that. And the second one is on The Great Apes as well.
Cool.
The first time I heard that song, I was like, what the hell is going on? Because it's so different to what they've usually done.
Yeah.
Sorry, man, you cut out them for me. What was that song?
The Great Apes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, first time I heard that, I was like, I didn't know what was going on because it's such a different song to what they've done before.
Yeah.
And it wasn't one of my favourites, but now it's right up there. With a solo, he just absolutely pulls one out of the bag on that song.
I remember you saying, that you're a bit unsure about Great Apes.
Yeah, I know. And now,
when it came out,
it just shows you just got to listen to more. Like Hamby saying about These Are the Ways, I wasn't a massive fan at first, and now it's one of my easily top, I don't know, 5 songs maybe.
Top 17 tracks.
Yeah, top 17. Yeah, it changes every day, but The Great Apes has got a great solo.
Yeah,
and so is What You're Thinking as well.
Yeah, cool. So if you had to pick one, and the other one could be an honourable mention, give us one. Go on, you have to pick one.
The Great Apes is the best solo technically.
Cool. Hamby, give us your favourite solo off the album, and then maybe some honourable mentions or something.
Oh, so mine, I think it's tough. I think mine is probably She's a Lover.
Okay, cool.
I think that's, I don't know, it's smack bang in the middle of the album. I don't know. I think it's I don't know. I think it suits the song perfectly. There's a couple others I do like the one at the end of What You're Thinking. That's probably like a close second. But She's a Lover, I think, just gets it for me.
Badass. Great choice.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because we've all got completely different ones.
Yeah.
My favourite solo off the album is Let 'Em Cry.
Yeah, again,
because it's really short, but I think it's perfect.
I'm going to mention Let 'Em Cry in the next thing you're going to ask.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that I love how it goes straight into it. I love how it doesn't stick around too long. It's very clean. I just think it's perfect. It's perfect for the track. Honourable mentions would be Black Summer, because I think that whereas I'm not sure about the Celtic thing for Anthony, the Celtic thing that John is doing on the guitar with some of those sort of scales or whatever, it's almost like Thin Lizzy-y when he does that do 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 do, so cool. I have to turn it up. It's almost like the solo on Black Summer is the can't stop solo of this album, where I have to turn it all the way up and I'm swinging my arms around and I'm spinning around,
And it comes so early as well.
It does. It's like middle of the song, right after the first chorus, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So it would be honourable mentions, Black Summer and The Heavy Wing. Because I love those. So those are our favourite solos. Interesting that we each chose a completely different one. That's quite cool. I thought at least 2 of us would probably have the same solo. The next category, best groove. So hard to describe, but just the best feel to the song, the best bop, just the thing that gets you kind of moving.
I'll go just because I know you mentioned it last time, and I don't want to sort of mention it twice. But Let 'Em Cry, I think, is probably mine. I think of all the songs on the album, I would say that's to me that's probably the catchiest.
This is best groove,
But I can definitely, but I think it's because of that, and I really like the end of it when like the guitar and the trumpets as well come in.
Yeah.
Great end to the track, and that for me would be mine.
That's a great choice, man.
Yeah,
It's a very good choice.
Grizzo.
Like I said, Hamby's got a very good choice there, and there's so many songs that just sort of draw you in because they're catchy, but they've got a really good groove. And I've got to go with the one that drew me in first, really, which was Here Ever After, where those verses, like, for me, that's like perfection. It sounds like something like from Blood Sugar mixed with Californication almost.
Yeah,
it's raw, it's funky, it's got a great groove, and Anthony's really good on it as well. And for me, that's my favourite one.
Yeah.
I think that's a hella good choice. Defo. Interesting here, two of us have the same one. Best groove for me, Let 'Em Cry.
Yeah,
I think that it's such a bouncy track.
Yeah,
it's almost reggae.
Great.
It's almost reggae.
I don't disagree with you guys at all there.
I think Let 'Em Cry is almost the song that if someone said, hey, like, I don't think I like the Chili Peppers, give me a song but I like popular music, give me a song that will get me into them off that album, I would give them Let 'Em Cry.
Yeah.
Because it's just got that universal bounce,
I love the sound of the guitar, like in that song as well. I think similar to what Adam said earlier. It sounds like very similar to how it sounds on the Imperium, some of his solo stuff. The sound of the guitar,
I think the other one I'd pick as like an honorable mention would be She's a Lover as well. The bass in the verse of that, and like the flow it's just great.
Yeah. I love a very interesting bass line on that one because of the sort of like two notes he's doing the whole time.
Yeah,
do 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 do. Yeah, really cool, really cool. Okay, next category is favorite song at the moment, because I know that it's easy to change. Yeah, but favorite song at the moment. Give us some reasons why, and maybe give us an honorable mention. Grizzo, you want to go?
Yeah, at the moment it's definitely. What you thinking? 100%.
Cool.
It's definitely, since it came out, it's been in my top 3, and it sort of shuffles along with a few other ones. But at the moment, that's the one I'm sort of really getting behind, and I think it's because it's so familiar, but it's so different at the same time.
Yeah.
It starts off that bass intro from Flea that sort of keeps that same sort of groove going. Yeah. Which is like, it's all over the fretboard, and it's like really quick and sharp notes.
Yeah.
But then Anthony sort of like replicates what Flea's doing with the vocals.
Yeah.
And what you said earlier, bringing that back about the guitar and the chorus of the little... It's fucking great. And then it rips off a great solo as well. And, it's proper gave me chills the first time I heard that.
Oh, cool.
And for me, that's like an instant classic Chili Peppers song.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a great one, definitely. Honourable mention. I mean, you could say the whole album, really, couldn't you? For honourable mention,
I could say the whole album. I mean, at the moment, and again since it came out, White Braids and Pillager, right up there. That whole song's awesome.
Yeah.
Let 'Em Cry. I could literally name the whole album.
Yeah.
She's a Lover as well. 1 to 17, I could pick one, any of them on any day.
Yeah, maybe we'll scrap the honourable mention for that, because I also could say every track on there. Hammers, favourite song at the moment and why?
Yeah, Adam kind of spoiled it. So my favourite track is White Braids and Pillager. So it wasn't originally my favourite. I think it's maybe only the second listen around I kind of was like, oh damn, that's a good track, or a very good track. I think it's weird when you listen to the album, it's kind of sandwiched in between two more livelier songs.
Yeah.
I think it's Bastard of Light, and I've got the thing in front of me, and One Way Traffic. And I think it goes really well in between the two songs. I think it's the actual vocals from Anthony are fantastic, I think, in that song. I think the backing vocals as well in the chorus. I love like Shante just doing the backing vocals. Fantastic. I love the tempo of the song, I think the outro fits it perfectly as well.
The outro is amazing. I love the outro.
It's probably like it's like I like to say it's such a nice like atmospheric bit of the song / album, and I love it. I think it suits the album to a T, and it's just.
It reminds me. It's almost got a little bit of Hometown Gypsy in it for me.
Yeah,
just that
does.
sort of like rockabilly country vibe going on with it.
Yeah. I sorry, Adam, go on.
No, you go on. I was just agreeing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the thing I like it as well. I like it. It could have maybe been the last track, but I think it's nice where it is, in between two.
Yeah.
More lively songs.
I don't think it would have worked as a last track because it's different. If you know what I mean, the ending is like, whoa, wow, that's cool. I think they did a good job with Tangelo as the final track.
I think when I listened to the album the first time, I'm surprised we haven't all mentioned this song more. But when I listened to it first, I was like, oh, Heavy Wing's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
And it's a great track, but like I think the second time I listened to it, I picked up more songs along the way where I was like, that's the Heavy Wing is a great track, obviously, but there's a few more in there.
Just as Adam spoilt yours, you spoilt mine. It's Heavy Wing, baby. It's Heavy Wing, right?
It's a great track.
So it was almost like a magical moment when I first heard this track because, as I said, I was chatting to Adam like live as I was listening to these tracks, and I was like, "Oh man, this is good." And then I heard that track, and as I was listening to it, I was like, "Fuck me, this is phenomenal," And I texted Adam. And I was like, bro, what the fuck, this track? And he literally was just straight up like, I know you'd love it. I didn't want to say anything about it so that you could just experience it. I love the Heavy Wing. I always love it when they give John a chorus because, I mean, the Chili Pepper sound is Kiedis on vocals, but I think John is a better singer.
Yeah, definitely.
So whenever they give John a chorus, he knocks it out the park.
And it's rare. It's rare it ever happens as well.
Yeah. So I love John singing the chorus. I love the real messy guitar in the chorus with like the sounds and stuff. It really reminds me of your playing, Adam.
I inspired him.
When we used to do some of our songs and we're doing the chorus and there's just some like messy sounds going on, but like it fits perfectly. Love that. I've written it's a real jump around kind of song. I can't help but like mosh out on my own to that song.
Yeah, that chorus comes in.
Yeah, like it's just, oh man, I love it. I'm praying that they do that one live.
I think the thing that I thought first when I listened to it was like, oh, that's an instant like fan classic.
Yeah.
Like it's not a single. It's the kind of thing that like it'll be really, really popular when they do it at their gigs.
Yeah.
It's
got an amazing solo. I love the sort of echoey, reverby effects on his vocals. It sounds really, like his solo work. It was just a shock.
Yeah,
but
big time.
A great shock. I love that song. Honorable mentions is the whole album. Let Them Cry, all the ones we've mentioned. But at the moment, whenever I listen to I'm just going to listen to one track, I'll just listen to White Braids. I always then have to at least listen to the Heavy Wing right after it to end my session, basically.
I think one massive pro that I didn't mention at the start, which talking about these songs live has brought it back to me, is every song on this album's got massive potential live.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can't say that about a lot of songs, and like By the Way, Californication, obviously regarded as like the highest sort of albums, obviously Stadium as well. But I think there's certain songs on there I wouldn't want to hear live because it's just be the song. Where every song on this album, except for maybe D'Angelo, because why would they do that live?
Yeah,
it's got so much potential.
I agree. So those are all of our favourite songs at the minute. Let's now go into weakest song, or what we think is the weakest song, or the song that we dislike the most. Grizzo, you're up first.
This is hard because
obviously
there's certain songs on the album we've heard loads of times because they came out before. I think it's got to be Poster Child. not that it's a bad song, but for me, it did disappoint me when I first heard it
Yeah.
as a single. And it makes more sense in the album context. And I would have preferred it if they didn't release it. So I think I would like it more now.
I
than
agree
do.
with you. So to tie ours together, then I also did Poster Child as what I thought was the weakest song. I totally agree with you. I wish they didn't release it, and I could have just heard it in the context of the album to start with.
Yeah, I think they ruined a good song.
It's a good song. It's got a really good vibe, but I almost feel like it's too chill and it's too long.
Yeah.
There's not enough variation in that song.
If they added like the horns of Aquatic Mouth Dance into that and had a few more breaks or a couple little solos in there, like they have in loads of the songs, it would have been a bit more fun to listen to. But it is just the same thing the whole way through.
I'm also not a big fan of the tone used in the sort of you can't really call it a solo, but like the lead guitar at the end where it's just sort of the do 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 do. I just don't like the guitar tone on it very much.
No, that did. To be fair, when I heard that, it got me a little bit almost worried. I was like, "Oh, I hope he didn't go that tone for the whole album, man."
Yeah.
But
because to me, it
one-off.
sounds like I mean, I'm not shitting on him here at all. I know that he has. I looked at an interview earlier, and he has added about 3 new pedals that he doesn't usually use for this album. To me, it sounded like a garage band pre-built guitar tone, like a lead tone, and I was a little bit sort of but
I think it's
a good song. It's not a bad song. It's just I
didn't like the tone either, but I think that he was trying. The whole track was like a throwback to like the 70s, and I think he was trying to replicate
and their
that
earlier
sort of 70s
stuff.
tone.
Especially with the music video, looks like behind the sun and stuff like that. Okay, fair enough. Hammers, you didn't join in. I'm guessing your weakest track isn't Poster Child then.
It's growing on me, Poster Child. I think the song that I'm still not that into is These Are the Ways. Maybe I will over time.
Yeah.
Maybe I will over time. I know you both
Interesting. I mean, I love how obviously everyone's different and it's all unique and stuff, but I love These Are the Ways.
I think it will grow on me.
Really love that one. Yeah.
I think it is more listens because the first time you hear it, it is a shock. You're like, what is going on? Because there's like there's a chorus and there's like an after chorus and there's a pre-verse chorus and it gets really confusing the first couple of times you listen. And when you sort of like decode what it is, you start to enjoy it more.
Yeah.
I
thought it was. I thought, and talking about These Are the Ways, I thought that, it was just like a proper rock out. I thought, it's almost a headbanger track.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you've got Flea and John playing the same thing, which always makes a chunky sound. And I can almost imagine John using like a Les Paul or something to play that.
Yeah.
Something with humbuckers, something that's really chunky. It's simple. Again, it reminded me of like some of our stuff in the band because our cliche in our band was always duh duh duh. Everything ended up with a duh 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 kind of thing, and that's literally that song. Duh 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 duh. Yeah. No, fair enough, Hamby. Okay, so we've gone through all of our topics, right? What I was thinking about doing now is basically just giving a little bit of an overview. Obviously, we're all fanboys, right? But try and give like an honest out of 10 of what you just what you thought of the album overall, and then I'm going to hit you with something else afterwards. But a little bit of an overview. So I'll start, right? I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I think that I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. And I wrote down that it's probably my favourite of the new era Chili Peppers.
Oh, yeah.
And by new era, I'm saying, I'm With You, Getaway, and this album, Unlimited Love. Because I almost feel like, it's all progressing. And if you compare it to those, this is my favourite one out of those 3. Definitely. And that's not shitting on John, because I really, really love Josh. I love Josh Klinghoffer. As a Chili Pepper fan, the ideal situation for me would be if they both were in the band. I think would be sick, because I really loved Josh's like melancholic backing vocals.
Yeah.
You know, and his style completely different. I'd love to hear them both on the same album together, you know, up front kind of thing. But yeah, loved it. 9 out of 10. Almost perfect score for me. And that's with a critical head on as well. Grizzo?
I don't like to put numbers on things usually. The movies, I'll put a number on something. Music, I find it hard. If I like it, I like it. You know, it's a very fine line. But I think, like you said, I agree. You know, it's their best album in the last sort of 12 years. The ones that did with Josh, which were good. You know, I liked Josh. Some of the songs on there were great songs, like Sick Love, Encore.
Hell yeah.
I think they're some of the best songs ever done. You know, people compare it to what we've done before, Stadium, By the Way, Californication, Blood Sugar. And, you know, I've always said Blood Sugar is my favourite album, but it changes. It changes all the time because they're all so good. And the way I'd rank it is I say it's on the same pedestal as those other albums he's done. Yeah. But, you know, if I gave it a number, it probably would be a 9. You know,
okay.
I can't.
I'm thinking else. Just of if say you were writing for a magazine.
It would be a 9 then. You know, nothing's perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, nothing gets a 10.
Nothing gets a 10. You know, I think if it had a couple less songs maybe, or they added more songs in instead of Poster Child or something like that, you know, I could give it a 10. But it might be that they just ruined the song by releasing it before.
Double album, baby. Double album. 10 out of 10.
If anything, man, I want more.
Yeah.
But,
fair enough.
For me, it's near perfect.
Okay, cool. Hamby.
I'd probably agree. I like it. It's a really good album. I can kind of nitpick, and I'm not as much of a musician as you guys, so I can't. You know,
yeah, Trumpet Master 5000.
Tuba
star.
Yeah. But you know, I
Tuba
I'm the same
hero.
as Adam.
You are quite a math dance.
That's probably one of the reasons why I like I say I really love like I'm With You and stuff, and it's because it's like a real kind of. That's probably the most like trumpet on an album that they've done. I think.
Yeah.
You know, this one's got a little bit of it, but no, I like it. It's a really good album. This on Admitted Love. I think I was kind of pleasantly surprised by it. I don't think I expected it to be as good as it is.
I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is, or at least I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I have.
So I'm pleasantly surprised actually, and I think. Yeah, it doesn't. It almost doesn't matter that they haven't got like that kind of like, you know, number one. You know, they haven't got that chart-topping single that everyone's humming.
Yeah,
it doesn't really. I know Black Summer, but it doesn't really have like it as much as like the previous older albums did. You know, like Down in California and stuff. And I don't think it needs it. I think it. You know, I think it's not. It's you know. The fans are pretty happy with it, and I think a lot of the songs on there are going to be really popular for a number of years.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd give it a 9. I think, but yeah, I think it's definitely up there.
Okay, so we all gave it roughly the same score. Right now, as me and you, Hamby, have said on previous podcasts, like we are aware that probably more people dislike the Chili Peppers than like them.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a massive fan base. They're one of the best-selling bands, like funk rock bands in the world. But yeah, a lot of people think that they're past it, sort of over it. I looked at a lot of reviews today, and a lot of the big ones, Rolling Stone, NBE, places like that, are all giving it, 4 out of 5, and they're saying, return to form, really good stuff. It's also getting a lot of mixed reviews, with scores at 50% and lower out on average. So I took a few little... I just wrote a few of these down. I'll run some of these by you and see if you think they're justified, right? So, The Guardian. Bloated and self-indulgent, 2 out of 5. They didn't like it.
Well, what does that mean? That's just...
I know.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Some of these were really quite nasty as well. They were like, Kiedis will be singing Danny California while the world burns in flames and stuff like this. It's like...
That's pretty funny. No, like, the music reviews are like they are kind of dumb, aren't they? Everybody, so like I know you're going to say some bad reviews. Everybody always jokes about Anthony Fantano. But he likes it. He actually gave it quite a positive review, and he's normally quite a critical reviewer, but apparently he quite likes it. Sorry.
Here's another one. Kerrang! It's a good record, just not a great one. 3 out of 5.
That just seems like a.
I mean, these are just like the sort of the summing up taglines. There is obviously whole written reviews.
That's like I'm not that into the Chili Peppers. I listened to it.
It was okay.
It's okay.
It seemed to be like the biggest criticism is just that they're just a load of old men trying to be young again. Here's another one for you. Underwhelming. Far Out magazine. 5 out of 10.
Are
you underwhelmed? Is it? No.
The thing is, right? If you don't like the Chili Peppers, then you're not going to like this record. No. It's like because it's you know, it's not It's not like it's a different band. It's the same kind of music, you know.
Okay, here's one from The Independent. You know, big paper. The rock band's batteries have run out on this lifeless album. It's slow. It's a slow and sloppy record. 2 out of 5.
Damn.
That just sounds like somebody.
That was not a great review.
That's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
I can understand I can kind of understand the meh kind of reviews.
But
you know, like
how I can describe it as slow when they've probably got some of the fastest, hardest songs they've had in about 20 years. Like if you look at it, if you take it back, you know, you got The Getaway, nothing really fast. You got I'm With You,
yeah, true,
nothing really fast. You got Stadium, it's got a few tracks. Then you got By the Way, which is a slow album.
Yeah.
So if you call them this one slow, they're all slow.
Yeah. True. Okay, and this. Oh, sorry, Hamby, go on.
Thing is, right, from like a reviewer's point of view, I don't watch or read like music reviews.
No, never.
Ever really, because like
I don't tend to. I just wanted to get some. I knew that we would say the album's fantastic, so I wanted to get what other people are thinking of it.
Yeah, like you say, like 'cause it's so subjective. Like the people who review that like might really, really love like a band that I absolutely cannot stand. Fair enough. I have my own prejudices against those bands.
They love Coldplay. That band.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like that. Like Coldplay probably do have some songs that I would like be like, oh yeah, that's pretty good actually. Yeah. But I'm not going to listen to it because it's like deep in an album.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get that far into a Coldplay album. So
no,
you know. But
the thing is, you can review a movie and put a number on it. A good movie is a good movie.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't enjoy the story, you can enjoy the production behind it. You know.
Yeah.
It's different with a movie. With music, it's very subjective. It's like it connects with you or it doesn't.
Yeah,
and
true.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the worst review, and possibly the worst review I've ever read for an album ever. It doesn't sound that bad, you know. I mean, well, it's formulaic, bland, and appalling. The Irish Times, 1 out of 5. Now, this is the guy who reviewed this was literally just like, Anthony Kiedis is a dick. And I was just like, whoa, this is like an attack. This isn't a review. This dude is fully like just attacking this band. He basically just said the band were shit, bygone. The album's fucking awful, basically. 1 out of 5 stars. The Irish Times.
Wow.
I mean, it's a bit.
What do you say?
That's not really fair. I can understand the like, meh, I'm not really into the Chili Peppers. This is okay. kind of reviews, but
guy. There was even in this review. There was even like little personal digs on each of the members. It's like the guy just really fucking hated the Chili Peppers, and he was like, finally, now's my chance to, you know.
Yeah, I know a lot. I know like because sometimes I listen to like Planet Rock. If there's like nothing else on, I'll just put Planet Rock on.
Yeah, we listen to it quite a lot.
And I know on their Facebook page, they always shit on the Chili Peppers. Like whenever there's any like story posted, it's like, can't believe they're still going. They just seem to fucking hate them.
Yeah.
Which fair enough. It's it's funny, but
I mean, so like I said, I mean I knew that we would say it's good. We all, or at least we all really enjoy it. But we are like, pretty big fans. We've all gone to see them a few times. You know, so I wanted to get like some opposing views in there, but I think it's fair to say like the Kerrang one, yeah, like they've said it's a good record. They just don't think it's a great one. They think it's a little underwhelming considering like we've been waiting for. They've put it like, you know, John the Messiah to come back kind of thing, and here he is, and my balls are unexploded. You know, that's a term for. By the way, that's a ball popping guitar solo is a term. So yeah, that's why my balls would be exploded.
I feel like a lot of these people would be complaining if it was just literally like 12 songs of just John shredding. I feel like more people would complain.
And here's something else as well. Here's something else. I've been watching a lot of things recently on YouTube, and there's a lot of people out there that really dislike John's playing.
Yeah.
You know, considering that there was a time when he was considered to be like one of the greats, you know, sort of early 2000s. I was watching there's a YouTube channel called Justin Hawkins Rides Again, and it's Justin Hawkins from The Darkness.
Probably the biggest one-hit wonder band of all time.
I like The Darkness, but his YouTube channel has made me not like him at all.
Yeah, he's a fucking knobhead.
Like, he is, yeah.
What's
and I don't know if you saw, but he did one called "Are the Chili Peppers Overrated?"
Yeah.
And he basically just says that like John Frusciante is the most lifeless guitar player. Like he plays, it's almost like he's deliberately playing everything so easy and expressionless that like little kids can pick it up and play it. Fuck you, Justin Hawkins.
Yeah, I know. I watched that.
What are you on about?
I watched that out of interest, and I was like, "This guy's a fucking prick."
He comes across as a knob, right? And then he does YouTube. He does like videos on addressing all the hate he gets, which makes him come across as even more of a knob.
I know.
And like I said, I like The Darkness, man. Like they've got a lot of really good tracks, a great style for the band. I love that sort of like camp rock. But come on, man. The hell? It's just clickbait bollocks, isn't it?
It is
like,
clickbait,
you know.
yeah. That's what it is.
Okay, so wrapping it up here, we're coming up on possibly one of the longest podcasts we've ever done.
It's monumental.
Yeah, man. Well, it is, you know. I mean, it's not every day the Red Hot Chili Peppers release a new album.
No.
And we did have other plans, other episodes we wanted to do, but I just thought, you know, this is new. We should talk about this. So we have all basically said that we really love this album. I would recommend this album to anyone. If you have never heard the Chili Peppers before, give it a listen. You might really like it. You know, it's got something in there for everyone. Let us know what you thought of the album, what you think of it, pros, cons, best songs, best solos, anything we've mentioned. Slam it all in a big email. Send it over to dudewutpodcast@gmail.com. It would be really cool to know. I'm still burping from the Cherryade.
I said you'd have a Cherryade burps.
Oh.
I did say.
Speakpipe.com/DudeWutPodcast. Send us a voice message. Let us know what you thought of the album. If you really enjoyed this podcast, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/DudeWutPodcast, and you can donate £1 if you don't need it. Send it this way. It all goes towards the overall production of the podcast. Guys, I think I always forget something. There's always something that when I listen to it back, I'm like, fuck, I meant to say that.
What are we drinking?
Oh, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, we're finishing this quite late. It's going to be a late editing session for me tonight. So hopefully it doesn't balls up. But I think what I should do is listen to this one like as soon as it's out. I just got a bit lax on listening to my own podcast. But guys, it's been great to have you on together. Really, really enjoy it whenever I can get you guys on at the same time.
Yeah, it's been great.
It would be really cool if we can get you both on again soon. I've got plans with you individually, but if we can get both of you on again soon, then we can nail out these best live guitar solos that I want to do at some point. There's not really much else to say other than I hope y'all listening have enjoyed this podcast. There'll be another episode next Tuesday, same time, same place, and there will also be a live stream this coming Friday. The last live stream isn't out yet, but it will be soon. It's ready to go. I just literally need to click upload. I just haven't got around to it. Yeah, guys, great speaking to you. Hope you've had a good time, and we will see you all next time. See you later, everybody.